This is a video guide of how to navigate the 2023 Highland Hollow course. The Highland Hollows course is the city park behind Smith's. The course begins in this flat area on the south end of the park. There's parking at Mitchell Hollow Park as well as a small area off Canterbury Drive. Now let's actually do a lap. Here I am at the starting area on the south end of the park by the large mulch pile. You begin the course by heading off on this double track road towards Murdock Canal Trail. Hopefully we'll spend some time flattening and smoothing this out. Right now there are some ruts. This wide road provides a great opportunity for us to stage and to practice our race starts. Now this will let the faster riders take off and hit the single track before the slower riders. Here we're going to veer a little bit to the left and continue on. This is a good time to add a reminder that this is still a public area and there might be other people and or riders on the trails, so make sure you are courteous.
Howdy.
Now as we approach the Murdock, we're going to actually get onto the Murdock Canal Trail for just a brief moment, watch for other riders in both directions. We're going to cross the bridge, and immediately after the bridge we're going to leave the Murdock and head on to our first section of single track. Here you can see we are starting on the single track. This will take us down by the creek. Now we're coming up on a loose turn that hopefully we'll be able to smooth out a little bit, but you can see it washed out a little bit. Immediately we go after the turn onto this steep incline, and this will be a challenge for a lot of our Junior Devo riders. Many of our riders will probably have to get off and walk their bikes up this section. And this is a little bit of a tricky part. We're going to veer a little bit to the left and then immediately right onto this next section. This trail is a little overgrown right now. We're going to go just to the right of this wood feature. Continue on. Here we go right to stay on this trail. Now this is going to take us to the section of switchbacks that you can see from the Murdock Canal Trail. We have a little bit of a climb here. Followed by a little opportunity to catch some speed. Then we're just going to start making our way back up the hill. This area is nice and gravelly and loose. Which is good because some of our race areas tend to be deserty and we'll have some looser areas. We're going to come up to a fork here and we're going to take a hard right. It's kind of a sharp turn. We still have a couple switchbacks to go. Alright, now we're going to come up to a very difficult turn that's a left-hander, and it's on some really loose, gravelly rock. And You see here I even get off my bike to get up it, because on my single speed I just can't power up it because it's too loose. So a lot of our junior Devo riders, almost all of them, will probably need to walk that turn. Now you might ask, why do we have a course where our riders need to get off and walk their bike a little bit? It's great practice for the race courses and to get them used to being able to do it. It's a great skill to practice. Now we're going to continue along this trail. This is part of Adrenaline. There's another good feature coming up here for our junior Devos to practice on, which this is kind of a steep downhill followed by an immediate uphill, which gives them an opportunity to learn about carrying momentum. And then we're going into one of our faster descents on this course. This has some kind of sharper off-camber turns. You can see we stay to the right there. Go up and around. This is a little bit off camber on a little bit of loose, so be careful there. Now we can catch a little bit of speed until this sharp left-hand turn. And just continue on. Now we're going to come up to a fork up here that's a little bit tricky because the course goes in the opposite direction as well later on that you'll see. But we're going to keep to the left. And we're almost there. Okay, here it is. So we're going to take a hard left here, and that's going to take us back up this trail that doesn't get used very much, so you can see it's a bit overgrown. We'll need to clear that out on our trail day. Hopefully it's in better shape when you ride it. So this has a little bit of a climb. This is about as green as you'll see this area. As we get later on in the season, it'll be that nice, beautiful Utah brown. We're going to continue on this for a little bit. We're going to cross another trail, and then we're going to eventually take a right turn here that heads back down. Here it is. Alright, now we're back on kind of a wider double trackish turn that turns into single track. And we're going to hang on this for a little bit. Here you can see we cross back that other turn. We're going to stay to the left. When we actually have like race events here, we'll have tape up to make that a little bit more clear. When the course isn't marked, it's a little bit harder to follow. Okay, so now we're staying to the right there. Now we're going to take a right onto this little section, and there's a wooden bridge coming up. There's a beeline around it, but it's kind of fun to hit. Not particularly large, but should be a good challenge for some of our riders. Okay. Once we get to the end of this section, we're going to cross a gravel road. And to the right here, the single track continues. This is a really fun technical section that is a lot of up and down. So this will be a good challenge for a lot of our riders. This is a particularly bad right hand sharp with some uphill right here. Here it is. Steep. If you can clean that, good job. Now, we've had to cut this section a little bit short, and we bail a little bit earlier than it used to be because there was some development up ahead, so we're going to hang a left here and get back on this wider trail. This is a good opportunity for passing. good opportunity to get some good speed. Alright, we're about back to single track. We're going to hang right here. There we go. Now we're going to be going through some of the trees again. Hopefully that river doesn't wash away the trail. Alright, now we're going to take a right here and go up and over the bridge. This is a section that may change in the future. For now, the easiest way around this section is to keep on going straight. And then we're going to kind of hold right here and go in between these large piles of mulch. And then we'll pick up the single track here again to the left. Alright, now this is the hardest climb on the course. It is steep. It's just unpleasant. It's not super long, but it's long enough that you definitely feel it. And this is a bit of a false summit here because we're going to take a left here, across a road, and then there's another bit of a loose climb here. You see we go up a little bit here. This hillside is really sandy and loose. We're almost to the home stretch. Alright, this has a couple of switchbacks. Please forgive the sweat that dripped on the lens. All right. Now we're going to climb a little bit, go do some switchbacks back down, cross a road, and then we'll get to some more technical sections. Coming up here, you actually do take a left hand around this turn here. It's kind of loose and sandy. Then coming up here, after this right hand switchback, you'll be in some trees and there's some good routes to go over. Okay, now we're going to cross the road. The trail picks up again a little bit to the left here. Now on this section there are a couple of bad trails that were built across this trail.
Hi. Thank you, Disney.
Thank you, kind gentlemen, for standing aside. You can see I've tried to prevent those trails from being built. They were damaging the trail. So watch out here because there might be some debris across this trail if you're out riding this. Okay, so this is a hard, loose turn, and then we have a bit more of a climb. Even for the stronger riders, you'll be feeling it by this point. And we're going to come up on the second hardest turn up here. You have a little speed coming in too, but watch out because this is just super sandy loose. I rode this course 4 times this day. This was my 4th time, and that was the only time I cleaned that turn. All right. That is the extent of the climbing. Now we're going to kind of zip back down. Now, I think a lot of people because this course is hard to follow, it's kind of underrated. If you go and actually try, here's a nice soft turn. If you try to do this course fast, it is a workout. There's another right-hand turn. Okay, now here's a tricky part. We're just gonna go across the road. This crosses the course, so watch for cross traffic. I'm gonna take another left. But even for strong riders, like doing this course 4 times, I was pretty beat afterwards. So one lap for our Junior Devo riders is quite an accomplishment. We're aiming to have the Junior Devos be able to do 2 laps of this course, which is a good comparison to 1 lap of one of the full race courses. So now we're going to go a little bit to the left, and then we're going to hang our right here. There are a couple of lines. Probably the one that we'll do is the middle one here. Alright, we have a couple little rollers to pump on. Both those trails ended up in the same place. But anyway, we turn left again, and then we're going to hang right. And here we are at the start-finish line, and you'll loop back around. And that is 1 lap. Hopefully this helps you be able to follow this course and go try to beat my times.